Hey friends, Michelle here with Olive Street Creations, and today I am inking a fun Halloween table runner. So I have this black table runner, relatively small table runner. I think it's about 14 by 36. And then I'm going to use this cat transfer, which I absolutely love. And I'm using silver ink, and you'll notice that I'm not going to ink the eyes because I'm going to use a bright green ink on the eyes to kind of make them pop for Halloween. I'm also using our ink mat, which is hard to see right now, but it's underneath my table runner, and that just helps keep the project from moving while I'm inking, and then it also helps protect my surface underneath in case any of the ink bleeds through the fabric, since this is a relatively thin table runner. And you can see right here I'm putting those green eyes on those cats, which I absolutely love. And then I'm gonna pull up the transfer just because I was kind of working slow and I was worried that the ink would start drying. So I wanted to make sure that it didn't. So I just pulled up that section of the transfer, and then I continued on with my project, inking all of those fun cats. And then I'm going back in here again and putting in the green eyes, and then I will lift up the transfer for this section. So now I just want to make sure that all of the ink is dry, so I'm going to use my hair dryer to dry the ink. You could let it sit overnight, but because I want to continue this project, I just use my hair dryer to dry all of the ink on there. So here's a quick little tip. I got a little bit of ink smudged on the side there, so I just took one of my board erasers with a little bit of water, and I was able to wash that right off since the ink hasn't set yet. So now I'm just going to continue with the next section, and I have washed my transfer in between. I wanted a nice clean transfer to continue my project. And I just lined up the cats as best I could. We're not looking for perfection here, but you'll see once I'm done, I did a pretty good job lining them up. And then I'm just going to continue inking along. So this time I was able to work a little bit faster. So I actually inked the entire project before I pulled up the transfer, and it turned out exactly the way I wanted it to. And here again, I'm adding in those fun green eyes, and then I'm going to pull up my transfer, which is always the best moment when you get to see your project come to life. And then I have one little row that needs to be finished up there, so I'm going to ink that last row of cats again with my silver ink and my green ink for the eyes. So once I'm done, I'm going to take my project off of my ink mat, and I'm going to make sure the entire project is fully dry. You don't want to heat set any of this with your ink still wet. And again, you could let it sit overnight at this point because I'm an impatient person. I want to dry it and heat set it right now. But actually, before I do that, I noticed that there was one little kitty cat at the bottom that I somehow missed. So I'm going to fix that, and then right in the beginning of my project, I accidentally did silver eyes. So I'm going to try and go over that with the green ink, and yep, that worked just fine. So again, I'm going to dry my entire project, make sure all of the ink is entirely dry before I heat set this. And then I'm going to pull out my my heat mat and my easy press. You can also use an iron to heat set this. You want a layer of parchment paper in between your project and your iron. So you'll want to do the front, and then also you want to iron the back. And once I flip this over, you'll see again why you want to use an ink mat, because sometimes on thinner fabrics the ink will bleed through just a little bit. So you want to make sure that you protect your surface that you're working on. And there you have it. There is our fun Halloween table runner. Thanks for watching.